Hello, welcome back to The Driven Detail. Today, we're casting our eyes on a beige cardigan. Yes, you heard me correctly, a beige cardigan, but the automotive equivalent of a beige cardigan. For 2026, the Koreans have decided to throw a spanner in the works and change this once and for all. We are, of course, talking about the new 2026 Kia Sportage, soon to be here in the UK. The Sportage, bless its cotton socks, has always been the sensible shoe of the SUV world. It's reliable, it's practical, but unfortunately with a powertrain lineup devoid of anything that might make your pulse quicken. But that doesn't mean it's not popular. Oh, definitely not. It was the second best-selling car in the UK last year. But hold on to your flat caps, because the 2026 model, well, it's different and in a really good way. Let's start with the visuals, because this is where the Sportage has always made a statement. They've clearly had a bit of a rummage through the Kia Telluride's bin. But that's a good thing because it has this broad, almost pugnacious stance now. They've tweaked their Opposites United design philosophy, and honestly, to me, it looks even more cohesive. Kia has brought the iconic Star Map LED daytime running lights to the new Sportage. Now, I'm not entirely sure what stellar constellation is supposed to represent, but it certainly grabs your attention. It's bold, it's in your face. The whole front bumper and grille area have also been subtly reshaped. It's got a more squared off, almost EV-like vibe now, aligning it more with its electric siblings like the EV3 and the EV9. Kia's clearly trying to make sure all its cars sing from the same design hymn sheet. You could say the new Sportage is now more like a transformer in a polite suburban cul-de-sac. And of course, there are new wheel designs. They always do this. A car's getting a bit long in the tooth, so what's the typical solution? Get new wheels. Now you get the new wheels in sizes ranging from a rather apologetic 17 inches all the way up to a modest 19. And of course, if you want the really slick 19s, you'll have to pay more for the top-of-the-line GT Line S models. This side cladding has also been subtly reshaped, giving it a more modern look. You might be expecting some sort of a similar shift in the back. Well, you're right, Kia have been rather clever here. They've given the rear lights a new signature, but it's a subtle tweak. And you know what? It works. It's not a revolution, it's more like they've taken all the good bits they already had and just sharpened the edges. I guess you could say it's refinement, and it's effective. And remember, this Sportage is specifically tailored for Europe, so no massive American proportions here. This one's still perfectly sized for nipping down those impossible narrow country lanes, and more importantly for actually fitting into those tight supermarket parking spaces. Let's talk interior, because let's be honest, this is where you spend most of your time, and Kia has gone big on the tech. The star of the show has to be the new dual 12.3-inch curved panoramic display. They've gone full IMAX cinema in here. It's like something out of a very expensive German car, which is honestly a compliment. It looks super slick, very premium. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are finally standard. Other features include connecting multiple Bluetooth devices at the same time and Kia Connect, which means over-the-air updates. This means your car will actually get better while you're not looking. There's also the rather intriguing feature on demand platform. Think of it as an app store, but for your car. Arcade games, definitely. YouTube, absolutely. Streaming services, oh yes. If you opt for one of the electrified versions, the hybrid or plug-in hybrid, you can even get a 10-inch heads-up display. This means you can see your speed, the sat-nav, and probably what you're having for dinner, all without taking your eyes off the road. Kia's gone for the new two-spoke design, taking cues from the EV6 and EV9. And you know what? It's not half bad, although I'm still getting used to the uncentered Kia badge. But here's the really important bit, which will make you want to stand up and cheer. They've gone for only physical buttons on the steering wheel. No more of that dreadful fiddly haptic pants that require you to take your eyes off the road in order to do anything. It's a simple pleasure, but in a world obsessed with touchscreens for everything, it's a huge win in my book. I just wish they had done the same thing with a touch-sensitive panel under the main infotainment screen. Practicality remains a strong suit with plenty of space for 4 adults. You get over a meter of rear legroom, which means even tall people won't have their knees pressed firmly against the back of their ears. And the boot is the same capacity as before, and it's genuinely massive. You could probably get a small pony in there, or at least a week's worth of shopping for a family of 7. Other changes include a new ambient lighting system and slimmed down air vents. Very sleek, very demure. Moving under the bonnet, Kia's playing to its strengths with a mix of powertrains. You can choose from a proper petrol option, a self-charging hybrid, or a plug-in hybrid. And yes, the mild hybrids from the pre-facelift Sportage are gone. The least powerful choice is the sensible 4-cylinder 1.6-litre turbocharged petrol engine. With around 160 horsepower, I imagine it will be as thrilling as watching paint dry, but in a very efficient way. For the all-wheel drive models, Kia has replaced the 7-speed dual-clutch automatic with an 8-speed torque converter automatic. However, Kia may still offer the front-wheel drive models with a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. The regular hybrid gets a power bump, now pushing the carriage with 241 horses. That's a decent jump, enough to get you to the supermarket and back without inducing a coma. The plug-in hybrid also sees a power increase to about 290 horsepower, claiming about 34 miles of electric range, which is probably just enough to get you from one charging station to the next. And here's the important part, they're introducing a front-wheel drive plug-in hybrid. This is huge. It means potentially a lower entry price for the plug-in hybrid and even better efficiency for those of us who don't need the all-wheel drive. Both the hybrid and plug-in hybrid will be only available with a brand new 6-speed automatic gearbox that replaces the old, shall we say, leisurely one. So, when can you get your hands on one? And how much will it sting your wallet? Expect to see the new 2026 Sportage hitting UK showrooms in the third quarter of 2025. So not long to wait. Official UK pricing is still to be confirmed, but my best guess is that the entry price will start from around £29,000. The good news is that the trim structure is simplifying to only pure GT Line and GT Line S. And here's the best bit, you can now combine any trim with any powertrain. No more forced upgrades just to get the engine you want. That front-wheel drive plug-in hybrid could also bring the plug-in entry price down, which is fantastic news for your wallet. My final verdict, the 2026 Kia Sportage is no Ferrari, obviously. It won't make your heart sing like a finely tuned V8. It's rather for the sensible suburban warrior, the family unit on a mission to conquer the school run, and the weekend DIY store. It's for those who appreciate a bit of flair, without wanting to completely alienate their neighbours. Kia's taken an already winning formula and just made it even better, and that is something worth paying attention to.